which is necessary for machine learning. So I'm sharing my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, so I'm starting with a brief introduction about Python. So Python was created in 1991 on 20th February by Guido van Rossum, who is a Dutch programmer currently working in Microsoft. And he named the Python on his famous comedy show, his favorite comedy show, that was Monty Python's Flying Circus, which aired in 1960s and 1970s on BBC. So he was very fond of this program, and that's why he wanted to name his language something unique, so he named it Python. The first version was 0.9.0 and currently 3.11.4 is going on. Now Python is a high level programming language which is better known for its simplicity, readability. Most important, it has a very vast and active community of developers and users, and it is dynamic typing, it supports object-oriented programming, it is interpreted language, it supports cross-platform, so you can use Python on any operating system. Now, most important question is why Python is so much important for machine learning projects. So there can be several reasons. I have jotted down few here. The first one is flexibility. So Python is very versatile and it offers a wide range of machine learning tasks from data pre-processing, data analytics, machine learning building, and even modeling up to deployment. This is first reason. Second reason is extensive libraries. Python offers a variety of powerful libraries and frameworks like NumPy, Pandas, which is a data analytical library, scikit-learn for machine learning, TensorFlow for deep learning, PyTorch for image processing. So there are plenty of options which these libraries gives along with Python. Python is easily integrable with different other programming languages. So existing libraries and tools, they can be used conveniently for specialized tasks. Python supports rapid prototyping. You can rapidly make some prototypes. You can just release those versions and see how they are working. And one most important thing is again strong community support. Now we are talking about machine learning libraries, so there is one limitation that you have to keep in mind, and that is that Python is not back version compatible. So we can understand it by a little analogy that suppose I am working in Microsoft Word 2019 and I am sharing this file to someone, I am giving this file to someone who is working on Microsoft Word 2013. So 2013 is a back version, 2019 of Microsoft Word is a newer version, but the file will open in 2019. So that is called back version compatibility. So Python is not back version compatible. It means that currently version 3.11.4 is running. There can be some new features added in this version. Those new features will not be supported in version 3.10. The new features of version 3.10 will not be supported in version 3.9. That is called back version compatibility. So Python is not back version compatible. Now in terms of machine learning, what happens? There are different libraries like scikit-learn, TensorFlow, and they have their different versions. So you have to take care of this thing, that what version of Python you are using, that should support these versions of libraries. Otherwise, even your code is correct, everything is good, but you will feel that it is not working. Similarly, if you are working on some GitHub project, suppose you have downloaded some GitHub project, you have to take care this thing that you have to check the version. First thing, you have to check the version. That GitHub project may be, suppose it was done in Python 3.7. Now you are working on Python 3.9 or 3.10. Then the problem will be that the libraries, those were supported by version 3.7, they might not be supported by version 3.9. So you have to take care of this thing. This is very important problem in Python. So this is just a brief introduction, and now I'm going to start with certain codes. So I'll be covering those topics which are must, which you should know to jump into machine learning. So first thing is always you have to check the version. Now I am working in Google Colab. So I hope you must be aware of this Google Colab editor. There are different types of editors available. PyCharm or VS Code editor. There is Anaconda package. So this is Google Colab. Now Google Colab, you just have to type Google Colab in your computer, in your Google web browser, and then you will jump here. It will ask you to log in, to sign in through your email account, and then just click on this notebook. So this is the interface of Google Colab which you are seeing here. This particular section is called cell, in which you can type, you can write anything. When you have to execute, you have to click this button. This is called run cell, or you can use the shortcut that is shift enter. So I'll try to show you a few things in our course. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do is check the version. Suppose I am working in Google Colab, you are working in PyCharm. Maybe my code is running and your code is not running in spite of being the same code. That's because of version compatibility also. So it is always better, it is always preferred to check the version. So to check the version, we have the command that is called Python space _ and then version. And you can see here an exclamation mark I have put here. In Python, we can write a comment by using single hash. So I have written single hash, and then I have written a comment here. So this comment is showing that character, exclamation character, is used to execute a shell command. Basically this means that whenever you have to check version, whenever you have to install certain things, then you use command prompt or terminal. So this exclamation mark makes this Google Colab to feel that this is a terminal, this is a command prompt. And when I run this, so when you run for the first time, it will take certain amount of time. You can see here Google Colab is connecting to the server. It is allocating some memory, some RAM, ROM here. So for the first time it may take certain amount of time. You can see now it is changed to initializer, connected, and then RAM and disk has been allocated, and you can see that this is Python 3.10.12. So now this Google Colab is using Python version 3.10.12, and this Google Colab is best platform to practice machine learning, because you know TensorFlow library, the most famous one, supports 64-bit. So if you have a 32-bit operating system, then you can't use TensorFlow. But if you are using Google Colab, you can use TensorFlow even on 32-bit operating system, because you are working on a cloud environment. And Python 3.10.12 is supported by Google. It means that all these libraries, these TensorFlow, PyTorch, scikit-learn, all these libraries will be supported by this version. The second thing you should check is all the existing libraries this Google Colab is having currently. Now, if you consider Python as a smartphone, then consider libraries as the apps which make a smartphone actually smart. So Python is so powerful, so popular as compared to other languages, not because of Python itself, it's because of libraries. So again there is a command called pip list, and again I am using exclamation mark. So this will make Colab to feel that it is a command prompt. And when I run this using shift terminal, so you can see there are different libraries already pre-installed for you. And these are some famous libraries. Almost all those libraries which are necessary, which are important for machine learning, all those libraries are pre-installed in Google Colab. So this is another beauty of this editor. If you are using any other editor, you have to install certain libraries. So let me show you how you can install these libraries. Okay, so among all these different libraries, different packages, if you want to check, suppose I want to check what is the version of numpy here. So this is the command pip show numpy, again exclamation mark. If you are using VS Code editor or PyCharm editor or normal Python editor, then you don't have to put this exclamation mark. And when I run this, so it will show me that NumPy version 1.22.4 is available here. So it means that if you are working on Python 3.10, then you should have NumPy version 1.22.4. And again, I am stressing on this library thing because this is one thing, this version thing, it will create problems if you are not familiar with these things. Now suppose there can be certain libraries which are not available. So I have made this library Abhi Prime. If I run this, so it will show that package not found because this package is not pre-installed. Now this is called external library. These all are internal libraries, but this is called external libraries. Now Python is an open source. It means that you can also contribute. So I have contributed by making my two libraries. One is this, and if you want to install this library, then how you can install? So it is pip install Abhi Prime, and when I run this, so it is showing that collecting and downloading. So this is the version. And now if I run pip list again, so you can see this library list has been arranged alphabetically. So now Abhi Prime is available here, but earlier it was not there. In this list, if I see, it was not there. Okay, so in this way you can install external libraries. Okay, so now let's start with our next topic, and that is how to give input and take output data in Python. Okay, so if I write a equal to 5, so it means that I am assigning a value 5 to a variable a. And similarly, if I write b equal to 10.56, it means I am assigning value 10.56 to variable b. So I can display these values by using print statement, and the syntax goes like this: print, and then in parenthesis you have to write the variable name. In parenthesis you can write multiple variables, like here a comma b. So I am printing the value of a, I am printing the value of b. I have shown you how to print a and b together. And then I am using another function which is very important, and it is called type function. So I am printing type A and type B. And when I run this, so you can see print A, so 5 has been printed, print B, 10.56 has been printed, print A comma B, so 5 and 10.56 printed, and then type, it is saying that type of A is integer. So it is checking the data type, it is giving me the data type. And similarly 10.56, it belongs to float class. So using type function you can check what is the type of your data. And again remember that you can't type more than one variable with type parameter. So I can't type A comma B together. Okay, now in print statement I have written here print A and it is giving 5, print B, it is giving 10.56. I can make it to look more meaningful by writing some statements here. So whenever I write something within quotes, suppose here I am writing the value of A is, and this is within double quotes. It means that whatever is written within quotes, it will be printed as it is, and whatever is written without quotes, the value associated with this variable will be printed. So let me run this. So this is the value of A is. Now this statement is within quotes, so it will be printed as it is, and this 5 will be printed here. Similarly print B. Now B is written without quotes, so its value will be printed, and in quotes I have written is the value of B. So let me check. So here it is 10.56 is the value of B. So do remember that whatever it is written in quotes, it will be printed as it is. Now here I am writing something in quotes. So in Python we have single quotes, we have double quotes, we have triple quotes. So single quotes 3 times and double quotes 3 times. So Python supports single quotes, Python support double quote, triple quotes, whether you are using single quotes 3 times or you are using double quote 3 times. So again I am printing few things here. So I have written print C, then in quotes I am not writing anything, but I have given a space here. So when output will be printed, the value of C will be printed, then certain space will be there, then D, then space, then E, then space, then F. Then I'm printing the type of C, type of D, type of E, type of F. And let's run this. So you can see here Python in single quotes. This is C, Python in single quotes, then space, Python in double quotes, then space, Python in triple quotes, and then Python in double quotes. So, and you can see the type. All these category belong to a string class. So we have int class, we have float class, and we have a string class. So a string is basically whatever written within quotes is called a string. Now in other languages there is no concept of triple quotes. So why triple quotes in Python? So basically there are three reasons that you should know. First is multi-line assignment. So like here it is in single line. If you want to write statements in multi-line, then you can use triple quotes. So if I run this, so you can print in multi-lines. Now you know hash is used for single line comment. Similarly, triple quotes can be used for multi-line comments. But what is the difference? When you write this thing, don't assign it to a variable. Here I have assigned it to variable E, but if I don't assign this thing to any variable, then it becomes a multi-line comment. So if I run this, now this thing is not executed. Interpreter is treating it as a multi-line comment. And third one is avoiding certain escape sequence characters. Now in C, C++, there are certain escape sequence, \n, \s. Similarly here, suppose I have to write this statement. When you don't assign a variable to a string like above, Python treats it as a multi-line comment. Now what happens here when I write this statement, here apostrophe is being treated as single comment, single quote, sorry. Apostrophe is being treated as a single quotes, and it is saying that single quote has been started but it hasn't been ended. So what I can do, I can just select this statement and I will put this inside double quotes. In C or C++, you have to use here \escape character. Now here I have written this single quote within double quotes. So when I run this, now no problem with that. Suppose if I want the statement to be within quotes, then I'll put it inside triple quotes. And when I run this, the output will be with quotes. So this is how you can use single quotes, double quotes, triple quotes as per your convenience. Now another way to give input is user-defined input. Here what we are doing, we are hard coding. I am writing a equal to 5, b equal to 10.56. Another way is that I will ask user at runtime to give input. So how to do that? You have to use input function, and with input one empty parenthesis. Now when I run this, so now it is asking from me at runtime to enter certain value. So let me enter 5. So the user defined input is 5. Now you can also give some meaningful message here with input function. So I'm writing enter some value. Now when I run this, now the user knows, okay, what I have to do, I have to enter some value. Okay, now let's add these two numbers. So I'm writing input enter first value, then input enter second value. The sum is u1 plus u2. So basically I'm doing the addition here. And when I run this, so it is asking for first value, I have given 5, then second value, enter, and see the sum is 54. It should be 9, but it is showing 54. So you have to understand this thing, that when user defined input is given, then Python by default treat it as a string. So Python is not doing addition operation here, Python is doing concatenation operation here. So to give integer type or numeric type input, you have to define int. So this is the previous statement, input enter first value. Now I have written all these things inside int parameter. So now if I run this, So it is saying that okay, first one is 5, second input is say 4, and now it will give 9. So again, remember that Python is dynamically typed language. You don't need to define whether it is integer or whether it is float. Python understands it clearly. Like in C language, you have to mention here that int a, int b, or double b, float b. But here Python automatically understood that it is integer and float, and that is dynamically typed language concept. But in user defined case, Python by default treat it as a string, so you have to explicitly mention that it is integer or float. So I can add integer. Similarly, I can give another value float also. So one is integer, another one is float. So I'm writing 5 and I'm writing 4. So the output is 9.0. So by default, when you add integer and float, Python will give the output as float. The third method is using a split function. So first one hard code, second user defined, third is there is a number, suppose this is 5 and 4. So this is 5, 4, or this is 54 here. And I want to give this 5 to a variable and this 4 to a variable. So there is another method, that is a split. So basically I am saying that whatever input I am giving, just split it and assign one value to A and another value to B. So when I run this, so it is asking me to give two values. So I am writing 5, 4, and when I press enter, so it means that 5 has been assigned to A and 4 has been assigned to B. So you can use n number of variables here, A, B, C, D, E, F, and the numbers which will you give, those will be automatically splitted into all these variables. So all these functions are basically important when you use machine learning. At some point in your journey, you will use these functions. Now another one is type conversion. Next topic is type conversion. So basically here I have integer and in quotes I have a string, and when I run this, it will show an error. So again, if you read this error, it is saying that unsupported operand type for plus. So basically it is saying that you cannot add integer with a string. So you can add integer with integer, you can concatenate a string with a string, but obviously you can't add integer with a string. So in these cases comes the need of type conversion. So what I am doing, I am saying that A plus int B. So I am explicitly converting the type. It is a string, but I am converting this into integer. And now it will give me 5 plus 7 is 12. Or if I need to concatenate, then I can convert this 5 to a string also. So str A, this means convert this 5 to a string. So now this is concatenation operation 57. Okay, coming on to the next topic, that is knowledge of operators you should be having when you are doing with machine learning. So there are 6 types of operators. First one is arithmetic operator, and if you have any background of programming, then you must know what are arithmetic operators. So addition. So again I am taking two numbers, I am adding. For addition we have A plus B, for subtraction we have A minus B, for multiplication we have A star B. Now there are two types of division in Python. Both gives quotient, but there is a bit difference. When I'll run this, you will understand. First one is normal division, that is A slash B, and second one is called floor division. It is A double slash B. Then we have mod operator, which gives remainder A percent B, and then we have exponent operator or raise to, that is power. So suppose A double star 2, it means A raised to power 2. And when I run this, so you can see A plus B, 5 plus 10 is 15, 5 minus 10 is minus 5, 5 into 10 is 50. Now this division will give you answer in floating point. So this is 0.5, and suppose you want to skip this 0.5 part, you only want the real part. then you will use floor division. So here it is 0. This 0.5 has been skipped off. Mod operator will give remainder. So when you divide, so remainder will be 5, and 5 to the power 2 is 25. So this is arithmetic operator. Second one is comparison operator. So we have equality operator, which is double equal to. Not equal to is written as exclamation and equal sign. Greater than is greater than, less than sign, greater than equal to, greater than equal to, less than or equal to is less than equal to. Important thing is that comparison operators gives output in form of Boolean expression. So here you will get the output in form of true or false. 5 is equal to 10, false. 5 is not equal to 10, true. 5 is greater than 10, false. 5 is less than 10, true. 5 is greater than equal to, false. 5 is less than equal to 10, true. So in comparison operator, you'll get the output as Boolean function. Then we have logical operator. So we have three logical operators: and, or, not. Now what is and? So if all conditions are true, then output will be true. That is and. Or means if any single condition is true, then output is true. Let's understand this. Now I have written here a is greater than equal to 5 and b is less than 11. So you see here a is 5, 5 is equal to 5, yes, and 10 is less than 11. It means that this condition and this condition, both these conditions are true. If you see or here, so 5 is less than 7, true. 10 is greater than 11, false. But in or condition, any single condition has to be true for the output to be true. So this condition is true, this condition is false, but it will give true output. Not means complement. So I have written here a is equal to 5. It is true, but I am saying that no, it is not true. So let's check. Okay, so this condition and this condition, both these conditions were true. This condition was true, this was false, but in our case any single condition has to be true, so this is also true. A is equal to 5, yes, but I am saying no, it is not equal to 5, so this is saying false. So this is logical operator. Now in Python we have a new operator that is called identity operator. So we have two identity operators here, is and is not. So I am writing here a is equal to 100 and b equal to 99 plus 1. Now both these things are actually 100. So I am checking whether a is equal to b. Then I am saying whether a is b and b is not a. So let's check. Okay, so it is saying that both are equal because both are having same value. Now it is saying a is b. It is true. B is not A, it is false because A is B and B is A also. But what is this means? A is B, true. What does this mean? B is not A, false. Basically it means that inside memory in hardware, both A and B are memory blocks and they are pointing to same memory location where a value 100 has been stored. Okay, and we can verify this in Python. We can verify this using ID function, that is identity function. So when I run this, you can see both these numbers are equal and both these numbers are actually memory locations inside your hardware. And it is saying that A is B, B is A. It means that both are pointing to the same memory location where 100 is stored. And you can see this thing in hexadecimal also because addresses are generally mentioned in hexadecimal format. So if I pass this ID A inside hex function and when I run this, so you can see that both these are having same value in hexadecimal format. So again it is saying that they are equal. That is the use of identity operator. There is one more use of identity operator that I'll show you later. Okay, the next operator is bitwise operator. So now bitwise operator works by converting the data internally into binary format. So very quickly I'll go through it. In machine language you don't really need these operators a lot, but it is always good to have knowledge about this thing. So single ampersand, single pipe, single ampersand is used for AND, single pipe operator is used for bitwise OR, negation A, that is bitwise NOT, this is tilde sign. Then we have bitwise XOR and left shift and right shift. What these do I have written here, so just quickly let's read this. First you have to convert internally. Now this is internal operation, so I have written here, I have represented this 5 and 4 bit binary, that is 0101 and 2 is 0010. So and what logical and do, the operation is same here, that you will get the output 1 or high if all inputs are high. In OR, if any input is high, then output will be high. This negation A gives complement, so it will convert 0 to 1 and 1 to 0. Now in binary, what happens if the leftmost bit is 1, then computer treats it as a negative number, so you have to take 2's complement of that number. Then bitwise XOR, output is 0 if inputs are same. Left shift, now I have written here a short tick for you. Left shift, what is do, if A is less than n, it means that you are left shifting your A with 2, so here it is 2, so n is 2, then multiply A into 2 to the power n. So basically multiply 5 is A, 2 to the power 2. So just remember that in left shift you have to multiply your number 2 to the power how much amount you want to shift left. Similarly in right shift you have to divide your number with 2 to the power number you want to shift right side. Now this is a short trick. So if you see here, 10 is 0, 01 is 0, 10 is 0, 00 is 0. So it means all zeros. So there is no 1, so output is 0. 101, 101, 101. It means that if any input is 1, then output will be 1. So 101, 101, 101, 0, 111 is 7. Now 5. If you take the 1's complement of 5 and then take the 2's complement, you will get -6. Similarly bitwise XOR. So here it is written that output is 0 if inputs are same. Here inputs are different, here inputs are different, here inputs are different. It means that 1, 1, 1. Here input is same, so it means that 0. So 0, 111 is again 7. Now left shift. So A is 5 and multiply 5 with 2 to the power n. N is 2. So 5 into 4 is 20. Similarly 2 divided by 2 to the power 1 is 2. 2 by 2 is 1. So this is how bitwise operators work. Okay, now there is one more operator, that is membership operator, and we'll see it later. Now conditional statements. So we are going to start with conditional statements and loops. So here is a basic simple problem that write a program to find the greatest number. So I'm taking two numbers, and the purpose is just to make you familiar with if else. So the syntax goes like this. If you have to write keyword if, then you have to write the condition, that is A greater than B. So simply I'm checking that if A is greater than B, and then you have to give colon and just assign print A is greater, else print B is greater. So when you run this, so it will show that 10 is greater. So what happens here, it is checking that if 5 is greater than 10. No, 5 is not greater than 10. So it will not go inside this if block, it will jump to this else block, and it will print that print 10 is greater. Now what if both these values are equal? So it is saying that if 5 is greater than 5, so 5 is not greater than 5, so it will not go inside this, it will jump here and it will print that 5 is greater. Okay, so now there is nothing wrong in this program, but mathematically this is wrong because 5 and 5 are equal. But what happens if condition fails? Then everything just jump into the else condition. That is the basic problem. it means that we need another condition, and that is called else if. So now it will check 5 is greater than 10, no. So it will say 5 is equal to it's 10, no. Then it will go yes. So suppose let me change it to 5 and see. So now this else if, in Python we write this elif. So let me run. So both are equal. Okay, so this is how you have to use if else. Again, do remember that I have written a colon here, and here you can see some space is there. This is called alignment or indentation, because in Python we don't have brackets, we don't have semicolon. So you have to tell interpreter that what happens if this condition is satisfied. So if this condition is satisfied, then go inside this if block, and that is mentioned by this space. So basically it is a tab, or it is 4 spaces. So suppose if you don't write colon, then you will get this type of statement. Print statement is not inside if block. So if you write colon and when you press enter, automatically it will get inside if block. Okay, so you have to take care of this thing. This is indentation, this is alignment, and if you are coming from any other languages, then you may get some time irritate because you are not habitual to put colon here, you are habitual of getting brackets here. So if you get indentation error, let me show you. Now let me show you. So I am writing shift enter, and this is a syntax error. It is showing that okay, colon is missing here. So let me write colon, and now it is showing indentation error. So it is saying that expected an indented block after if statement. So whenever you get indentation error, be sure that your code is right, only you have to align it properly. So just give one tab here, or you can give 4 spaces here. So now this indentation error will be gone. Okay, so this is if else. There are nested if, nested else, ladder if else network like in any other languages. So let's jump to loops. So in Python we have 4 loops: for, while, for else, and while else. There is no do while. So for, let's see the syntax here. So it is written here, for I in range. So if you compare it with C, so let me compare it with C. In C, what you write for, then you write I equal to 0, suppose, then semicolon, then I, and you say less than equal to 5, and then semicolon, and then I plus plus. This is the syntax of C statement, C language for statement. So here I have written, I have I, and the range of I is from 0 to 5. So here it is, range of I is starting from 0 and it is going to 5. But one thing you have to remember is that whatever number you are writing here, the loop will run one less than that number. So if I run this, so it is saying that I is 0, okay, then I will be 1, then I will be 2, then I will be 3, and then I will be 4. So it will be like this. Okay, and when you are doing I++, then you don't need to mention I++. By default, automatically for loop will increment by 1. You can also write this like this: for I in range is starting from 0, going up to 5, excluding 5, and this parameter is your increment or decrement operator. So by default it is 1. So if I run this, so again the output will be same, 0 1 2 3 4, 0 1 2 3 4. If you want to change, suppose not I++ but I plus 2, so you have to write, in place of 1 you have to write 2. Now when I run this, so it will start from 0, it will skip 1, it will jump to 2, it will skip 3, it will jump to 4. So this is I plus 2. You can also use decrement operator.
Abhishek sir, can you share your screen again? It got unshared.
Okay, just a minute. It is visible?
Yes, yes, it is.
Okay, so uh, I hope not much has been lost. Okay, so decrement operator, here it is decrement operator for I in range 5 comma 0 comma minus 1. In place of 2 now I am writing minus 1. So minus 1 means this is I minus 1 in terms of C language. So here I have written 5, so start with 5, go up to 0 or less than 0, that is go up to 1, and go by decrementing. So it will go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 like this. Now in Python we have a loop that is for else. This is not available in any other loop in any other language. So here let me run this and I will show what it does. So if I run for else like this, then this is just like previous. Then after completing this, it goes to else statement and print Python also. So the most important way to use for else is always with break statement. So here I have written for x in range 5, if x equal to 3, then break. Now it will not run this else condition. And the meaning of else is that if for is not working, then else should work. If else is not working, then for loop should work. So to make that happen, you have to use break statement. So it is saying that x is 0, x is 3, no. X is 1, 1 is 3, no. X is 2, x is 3. As soon as it encounters x equal to 3, it means that 3 is equal to 3, it executed the break statement, and when break statement is executed, then automatically control goes out of the program. So you got 0, 1, 2, and else statement is also not printed. Similarly, we have continue function, like break we have continue. So let me check how it works. So when you use continue, so x equal to 3, so if 3 equal to 3, the satisfied condition will not be printed. Loop will continue, but that specific value 3, in case here 3, it will not be printed here. Now like for we have while loop here. Syntax is pretty much same like in other languages. So I have a equal to 5, I have I equal to 0, and I am saying that while I is less than a, then print I and then increment the value of I by 1. So it will start I means 0 is less than 5, yes, go inside while loop, print 0, then increment the value of I, that will become 1. 1 is less than 5, yes, again print 1, it will become 2, 2 is less than 5 again. So it will go up to 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. As soon as I will become 5, 5 is less than 5, no. So control will come out of the program and output will be printed. Like for else, we have while else also, and pattern is similar. Whenever you are using for loop with else or while loop with else, the better way is to use with break statement. And similarly, we have continue option also available with while else. We don't have do while loop in Python. We have a match case which is similar to switch case in C. We have match case, but let it be. Okay, now let's start with data structures here. So data structure, first one is list. Now I'll cover list in a bit detail because this is the most important data structure that you'll be using in machine learning. This is the most important data structures whose functions are widely used in machine learning. So let's start it with in some detail. So anything written within a square bracket is called list. List is just like array, which you called array in C. You can consider list here. So it is also collection of elements, collection of same data type elements, ideally like array, but here in list you can have any data type. So here I am creating an empty list. I have written square bracket, but there is no value inside it. So this is empty list. Then we have to print L1, then type of L1 I am printing. So you can see this is empty list and it belongs to list class. So let's populate this list with certain values. So I'm adding elements. The first one is append function. So I'm appending one value. So syntax is the list name dot append function, then some value, and only one value can be appended using append function at a time. It means that you can't just write 1 comma 2 comma 3 and append more than one value. So let me run this. So you'll see one has been printed, one has been appended in this empty list. Let's append another value 3 and print it. And then now 1 was there, comma 3 has been printed. Let's append -4. So 1 3 -4. Now using append function, one important thing you must notice that whatever may be the value, it's always gets appended in the last position. It's not that -4 is smaller, so it will come before 1. Append, when you append any value, it will just go to the last value, last position of list. Also, you can only append one value at a time. So to overcome this, we have extend function. So now you can pass entire list as a parameter to this extend function. So when I run this, you can see 1 3 -4 was already there, but now 10 -13 45 has been also included in this same list. So using extend, you can append more than one values actually, but still it is going to the last. So we have insertion operator, insertion function actually. We have insert function list that is used to insert a specific position. It can insert a value at a specific position. But before that, let's understand what is position. So position is basically indexing. Suppose I have this list. This is the same list here. Now from left side, if you see from left side, this position is 0th position. From right side in Python, we have -1 position. So if you go from right to left, you have to read this as -1, -2, -3, and when you go from left to right, it is 0 1 2. So let's run this and see. So basically I am saying that, okay, give me the first element. So this is 1. Give me the last element. Now in Python, in list, we have a special operation that is called slicing operation. This is one very important operation which is used in machine learning, because when you do data analytics, when you do data pre-processing, you have to consider certain rows, you have to consider certain columns, and in that case slicing operation is used in machine learning. So how it works, here in square bracket you have written certain position numbers, but if you don't write numbers and if you write a colon here, it means that before colon consider all elements and after colon consider all elements. So if you write like this, it means that print all the elements of the list from start to end. The same thing can be written like this. It means that starting from 0 and ending in ending position, I haven't mentioned anything, so print everything starting from 0. Now if you mention anything after colon, then all elements excluding this position, it means that all elements before this position will be printed. There is also one more colon here, and after this colon, when you write something, this is increment or decrement value. So I am writing 2 here. By default it is always 1, so we don't mention here double colons. But if you want to skip one value, suppose this is just like I plus 2. So let me run this. Okay, so this colon means give all values. Again this is the same thing. Now here if you see -1 is the last position of the list. So it is saying that starting from 0, print all elements but one value before this position. So now 45 hasn't been printed. And here it is saying that print all values but skip 1. So this is not I plus 1, this is I plus 2. So 1 is printed, then 3 is skipped, -4 is printed, 10 is skipped, -13 is printed, 45 is skipped. So this is basically step size. So this is indexing, this is slicing. Now we can use the insert function to insert a value at a specific position, and the list variable and the syntax is list variable, that is L1, then dot insert, that is function name. Then first I have to write the position, so I'm writing here 0, and then what value I want to insert at this position. I want to insert 100. So let me run this. So you can see here, earlier it was 1, 3, minus 4, 10, 13, minus 40, and now I'm saying that insert a new value 100. So it is not overwriting, it is not replacing 1 with 100. It is saying that earlier 1 was at 0th position, now insert a value 100 at 0th position. Okay, so at this point now we can learn our last operator, that was membership operator. So membership operator is nothing but it decides whether a value lies in or whether it don't lie within a iteration. So here it is written print 100 in L1. So it is checking whether 100 lies in L1. Yes. 101 not in L1. So it is checking 101 lies in L1 or not. So again output will be in Boolean. So true, true. 100 is in L1, 101 is in L1 also. Okay. Now this is again very important topic, copying one list element to another list element. So I have one list element here and I want to copy it to another list element. So this is the most basic operation. L2 is equal to L1. So what it will do, it will copy all the list element to L2. And when I run this, you can see original list element and new list element are same. L1 and L2 are same. So we have done this copying, but there is one problem with this copying method. Now what I have done here, again this is same, but now I am appending list 2 with a value Python. So we just learned how to append. So what happened, I appended in L2, but it has also been appended to my original list. So this is the problem with this direct copying method. Again, this copying process is very important because when you do machine learning, you tend to make a copy of your data set. You don't want to spoil your original data set. So actually you make a copy of your data set and you do the operations on that copy. So this copying element part is very important. So what we do, we copy like this. We are saying that don't blindly copy L1 to L2. First make a copy of L1 and then copy that copy to L2. So I am copying the L1 copy to L2, and now I run this. So you can see here now L2 has been appended with Python. The original list is untouched. So this is how you should copy. The same thing can be done using slicing operator also. So L1 and then square bracket colon. So this will also give the same result. So this is how you have to do the copy. This dot copy function copying method is called deep copy, and this direct copy method is called shallow copy. So prefer deep copy if you don't want to reflect the changes in the original list as well. Now updating the list element, it is very easy. So just write like this, the list name, then in a square bracket give the position. So basically I'm saying that update this 100 with 1000. So the 0th position value will be updated with 1000. Let me run this like this. Now this is replaced, this is updated, overwritten. Okay. Now copying using list function. So this is another way that you can copy. Now that was copying using copy function. Using append function, how you can copy. So this is a very fundamental program that I like, because this fundamental program helps you to make different types of programs. So I have this list and L2 is empty list, and I want to copy all these L1 elements into L2. So I am using for loop. I am saying that for I in L1. So basically I am saying that for 100 in L1, for 1 in L1, for 3 in L1. So for I in L1, get inside this for loop and then append this I to L2. Okay, for I in L1, if this condition is true, then get inside this for loop and append this function. We just saw how to use append. Okay, list name dot append and then value. So here list name is L2 dot append and value is I. and when I run this, so you can see all these things are copied. Now this is very fundamental program. Suppose you have been asked to square all these elements and then copy them to L2. Here what I am doing, copying L1 directly to L2. Now it is saying that square these elements and then copy. So what I'll do, I'll just write I squared 2. No change. Simply I squared 2. And you can see original list is this. The values are squared and then copied to L2. Suppose if someone said that okay, copy the list values which are divisible by 2. Again, no problem. For I in L1, get inside, check. If this I is divided by 2, then check this using mod operator. So if this I is divided by 2, then append this I to L2. Otherwise, don't append it. So see, 100 is divisible by 2, yes, append it. 1 is divisible by 2, no. 3 is divisible by 2, no. 4 is divisible by 2, yes, append it. 10 is divisible by 2, yes, append it. Leave this. So this is how. Suppose someone says that okay, now not 2 and 5. If the number is divided by 2 as well as 5, then only append it. And here it is written and, it means that logical and. It should be divisible by 2 as well as divisible by 5. So if you just see here, so 100 is divisible by 2 and 5, 10 is divisible by 2 and 5. So my new list should be having two values, 100 and 10. Okay. Now copy the list elements which are divisible by 2. If it is divisible by 2, then square it. Otherwise, leave it. But you have to copy everything. So you have to copy all these things. But if the number is divisible by 2, then you have to square it and then copy it. If it is not divisible by 2, then you don't have to square it, you have to simply copy it. It means that you have to use the if-else condition. So if it is divisible by 2, square it, copy it. If it is not divisible by 2, simply copy it. So let's run this. So here, 100 is divisible by 2, square it and copy it. 3 or 1, it is not divisible by 2, just copy it. So this is how you can copy using append function. Now this is a very complex topic. This is called list comprehension. This is particularly first topic which is considered as a tough topic in Python. So I'll try to make it very easy, and this is the thing which is very much used in machine learning. So here if you see, we have one output, that is I. Again one output, I square. Again one output, I. Again one output, I. But here we have two outputs, I square as well as I. So I'm just showing you a shortcut. I am just teaching you a trick to how to write list comprehension. First you have to just realize how many outputs are there. There will be one output or there can be more than one output. Okay, so see how it is written here. List is given. Now what I am doing, L2 is equal to I for I in L1, and then I run this. The list has been copied to L2. So list comprehension, the word comprehension means ability to understand. This is the dictionary meaning, comprehension, ability to understand. So here list has the ability to understand that okay, if something is written within square brackets like this, then you have to perform the append operation. Okay, you don't have to write append operation here. So now how to write this thing? So I have written a trick here. It will help you to understand the thing. You have to write like this: output followed by outer loop, then inner loop, if there is one output. So in this case, here is one output, I. So I am saying write output followed by outer loop. Now let's see what I have written here. I followed by outer loop. Again here, one output followed by outer loop. One output followed by outer loop. and then inner loop. What I've written, output followed by outer loop and then inner loop. So again, output followed by outer loop and then inner loop. Okay, and if there are two outputs, like if else condition, then true condition output. It means that if condition output, first you have to write the condition which was executed after running the if condition, followed by inner loop, then false condition output, followed by outer loop. It means that here first you have to write the true condition, that is if condition output, followed by inner loop, else condition, followed by outer loop. Let's see. Here it is. First if condition output followed by inner loop, and then else condition output followed by outer loop. So just let's run all these things. The outputs will be same. Okay, I'll share this notebook in the WhatsApp group with all so that you can later on see and practice. Okay, now this was all about addition part. Now let's see how to remove elements from a list. So first one is pop. So you can pop, it is just like pop method. So if there is nothing is written inside pop, last element will be removed. So if I run this, 45 is the last element, it is gone. If it is something number is written there, then it is the index number. Remember that it is the index number, it is not the value. So if I saying that 0, 1, 2, 3, so I am writing 3 here, so this -4 will be popped out. So you can see here. Second method is remove. So if you write remove and a number here, then that is the number actually, that is not the position. So it means that number 3 will be removed. So you can see here 3 is gone. If you write clear, l1.clear, so it will clear the entire list and it will give a empty list. And last one is delete. So if you delete and then print the list, you should get an error that name L1 is not defined. So this is not defined because it has been deleted. Okay, now these are the major functions which are usually used in machine learning. You can find the length, that is how many elements are present in your data set in machine learning using len function. If this list has all numbers, then you can use the sum function to add all elements of this list. Using slicing, so basically it is saying that consider all elements from start to end and then -1. See here, double colon -1. It means that this is decrement. So it is saying that reverse the list element. So you can reverse this list element. Sorted, so you can sort this list element. Reverse function is also there to reverse the list element. Then you can count how many -4s are present in this list. You can find the index or position of -13. Let's run this and see. Okay, so see here what happened. First 7, length is 7, there are 7 elements. Sum is 142 if I add this. Then reverse order, it has printed in reverse order. Then I printed sorted, so it sorted it. Then I printed L1.reverse, but I am getting here none. And then count is -4 because -4 is one value only, -4. Index of -13 is 1. Okay, now if you see here what happens, there are certain functions which you have to print, which you can't print. Like here it is written print sorted L1, but it is giving none. So you have to print it like this. First you have to reverse it and then you have to print it in separate line. So it will now do like this. So there are different types of list elements, list functions, which you can see like this. So if I write L1 equal to list print dir, it means that directory of L1. So it will give you different functions which are available in list. These are called double underscore methods. So dunder methods, double underscore methods. And when I go to the end, you can see We have append, clear, copy, count, extend, and so there are different types of functions available with list, and we have almost covered everything. So list is basically most important type of data structure which you must know in deep for machine learning. Now tuples. Tuples is another data structure, and it is also collection of elements. Ideally it is heterogeneous but can have similar data type elements. So if you write anything within normal bracket, then it becomes tuple, and it belongs to tuple class. So let's append 100 to this empty tuple. So you see that tuple object has no attribute append. So what is the basic difference is that tuples once created cannot be modified. This is the most fundamental difference between list and tuples. Lists are mutable. Mutable means they can be changed. You can add, you can remove, you can delete. But tuples once created, they cannot be modified. It means that if you created empty tuple, it will remain empty forever. So tuples are immutable. So now what I have done here, I have created three things here. One is with normal bracket, without brackets, and single element. So if I run this, so first one is tuple, second one is also tuple, but third one is integer. So you must know this thing, you must have to understand this thing. In Python, if you don't use brackets, then it belongs to tuple class. But what happened here, this is also without bracket, but it is showing that int. So if you are writing a single element, like here it is a single element, and you want it to be a tuple, then you have to write it with comma. So 100 comma, and now when I see the data type, so it is tuple class. And this thing is used in machine learning when you check the shape and size of your data set. So usually it is in tuple form, and when you check the size of your feature variables and the target variable, you will get the target variable. In most cases it will be a single tuple. So you must be able to recognize that, okay, what is this 100 comma means. It is saying that it is a single tuple element. Then we have tuple packing and unpacking. Simply it means that you can write a equal to 5, b equal to 6, print a, b like this. Tuple packing and unpacking means that you can write it in a single statement also. If you write a comma b equal to 5 comma 6, it means that 5 will automatically be assigned to a and 6 will automatically be assigned to b. So output will be same. One thing you have to remember is that number of variables on left hand side must be equal to the number of variables on right hand side, otherwise it will throw an error. Let me show you an error here. Why this name? So I am saying that a, b, c, but there are only two values. So if I run this, you will see that it is saying that not enough values to unpack. It means that there are enough variables but there are not enough values. It is saying that expected 3 got 2. So it is expecting 3 values, but I have assigned only 2 values, so it is showing one packing unpacking error. Okay, so this is all about tuples that you must have knowledge for machine learning. Now talking about strings, so major string functions I will be discussing here for machine learning. I have written one statement here: beta version of Python is unnecessary for ML. So this is a string. Now the first thing, you can change the cases. So there are different types of cases available here. You can change this to lowercase, you can change it to case fold, you can change this to uppercase, you can change this to title, swap case, and there is one capitalize also. So basically lower converts the string in lowercase. Case fold also converts the string in lowercase more aggressively. So what does this mean? Let's run and see. So it means that for beta is lower in lowercase, but case fold and others have changed this beta symbol to some other character. that is SS, double S, SS, SS. So now let's see. Lower means it will convert the string in lowercase. Everything has been converted into lowercase. In case fold, everything has been converted to lowercase. More aggressively means this beta sign has been converted into some character. Then upper means everything has been converted into uppercase. Title means every first character is converted into uppercase and all other characters will be converted into lowercase, even this one. M is uppercase but L has been converted into lowercase. Then swap case, lower cases will be converted into uppercase, upper cases will be converted into lowercase. We have one more function, that is capitalize, so I'll ask you to just try it on your own. Now this is very important function, replace function for machine learning, because in machine learning we deals with categorical data sometimes. We have gender column, male female, so you have to change those into numeric values, and in those cases replace function is very handy. So how it works? So it is written here, beta version of Python is unnecessary for ML, but beta version is necessary for finding volatile issues. It is just a statement. So how you have to use this? So dot replace, then what you want to replace and from what you want to replace. So I want to replace this symbol beta with word beta. So let me run this. So you can see beta has been replaced with beta. But if you want to replace only this beta and you don't want to replace this beta function, so we have a third parameter passed with replace function, and you can write here 1. So the first beta will be replaced by beta. Let's me run this, and this second beta will be remain as it is. This first beta has been replaced by beta function. So replace function is very, very useful. Then we have series operation in a string, which is also very useful. So let's see. So you can write replace. Suppose you have to change this statement, you have to change this easy to fun, and then you are asked to convert this statement into lowercase also. So first I have replaced it, and then after I have lowered it. But you can see what happened here. It replaced, but when it lowered, it actually lowered this one, not Python is fun. So series operation allow you to write the functions in series. So you can write functions continuously like this. So Python is easy, then dot replace easy with fun, and then lowercase it in a single line. This is called series operation. So now Python is easy has been replaced with fun, and then it has been converted into lowercase also. Or you can replace it like this also. So s dot replace easy comma fun, and then dot lower. So again, this function is very helpful in machine learning, because there are certain date columns when you want to replace dash with slash, or you want to skip certain things, then replace function is very helpful in machine learning. Now next data type is dictionary. So dictionary in other languages is generally considered a map function. So anything written within curly braces. So this is dictionary. And how to fill data in this? So I am writing the dictionary name, then in a square bracket I am writing Python equal to easy language. So it means that I am creating a key value pair where this thing is called key and this thing is called its value. Let's add another key value pair here. So now Python easy language and Java tough language. So Java is key, tough language is value. If you want to see all the keys present in your dictionary, you can use dot keys function. If you want to see all the values present in your dictionary, you can use values function. If you want to see all key value pairs, you can use items function. Again, you can see this is a tuple, this is a tuple, and this entire thing is a list. So you must be aware of list and tuples representation. If you want to access any value, then you have to use key. So if you write dpython, then value associated with this key will be here. If you want to update your dictionary, so now I have this dictionary and I want to update this easy language with funny language, so I'll write D then key equal to funny language. So now this easy language has been replaced with or updated with funny language. Now can we have two keys with same name? So obviously we can't, because keys are unique, but which key will be considered, easy language or funny language? Keys are same, Python and Python. So if I run this, the latest one will be considered. Okay, it is just like we have overwritten this easy language with funny language. Keys are unique. Also, indexing is not supported in dictionary. Dictionaries are unordered. It means that in my system it is written like this. In your system, maybe Java tough language is at first position, Python funny language is at second position. So dictionaries are unordered, you can't use indexing. That's why to access a value you have to use the key. This much knowledge for dictionaries is sufficient for starting machine learning things. Now sets. Now here anything again written within curly brackets is called set. Here also anything written within curly brackets belongs to dictionary, but the format is different. Here we have a key value pair separated by colon, but here nothing like that. We have all the values. Now let's run this and see the type and print. So you can see it is set type, and one important thing is that I have written here 378 and 378, but only 378 has been printed, not duplicate elements. So sets are used to store elements without allowing duplicacy. You can't store duplicate elements using sets. That is very important thing. Second thing, when you use curly braces and run, then it becomes dictionary. So empty set, to create empty set you have to write set. Okay, now this is called empty set. So there are some major operations of set that are used in machine learning. So I have two sets here, and the first one is union set. Sets are basically simple, like we did in maths, the Venn diagram sets, that is the thing. So dot union, union means combine all these sets and all these values and assign it to set1, s1. In place of dot union you can also use pipe operator like this, s1 pipe s2. So it will combine all these elements and assign it to s1. And you can see here set is also unordered. Okay, it is not like -5 has to be after 12. It is not like that. Okay, similarly we have intersection operation, and operator is used like this, s1 and s2. So intersection means which is common in both the sets. So 2 and 3 is common in both the set. Then we have difference. So for difference we use minus. So s1 dot difference s2, it means that those elements of s1 which are not present in s2. So you'll get this one. Now updating set. So you can update sets. So this is one set, this is two, and I am saying s1 dot update s2. And when I run this, so it is just like union operation. I am saying that update s1. So how I have to update by s2. So I am just making this union. Now s1 becomes this. Earlier it was this. And if you want to stop sets from updating, then we have frozen set. So frozen set means that I am freezing my set. So now I have s1 as a frozen set and s2 normal set, and now I'm updating s1 with s2, and then if I print, so it will say that frozen set object has no attribute update. Okay, so now two tricky interview questions I have. Can we add two tuples? So I have this 1 2 3, this is 4 5 6, and I am adding this and printing a. So I am adding a plus b, assigning it back to a, and when I run this, so a has been updated. But we have learned that you can't modify tuples once created. So how this happened? Similarly, we are performing union operation here between set and frozen set. Now frozen set also once created cannot be updated, but here using union operation I am just updating my frozen set and it is also updated. So here comes in explanation part ID function, the identity function will help you. So see here, we have a equal to 1 2 3 print id a. So I'm printing the id of a, and then after adding again I'm printing the id of a. So you can see that both these addresses are different. It means that a has not been modified. A plus b has been added, but this a is not similar to this a. They are at different memory locations. So your tuple hasn't been modified. You can add tuples, but you can't modify existing tuple. Same thing you can check for frozen set also. You can see the earlier frozen set was different. Now this address location has been changed after performing the union operation. Okay, coming to the last topic, that is functions. So functions is very huge, very large, very complex topic, but basic function things that you must know for starting machine learning. How to write a function? You can write by using def keyword. So def square num, then bracket, you have to pass a parameter, colon, get inside this def function, return whatever function operation you want to do. So here I am writing a equal to 2, print square num a. So the control will come here first, a equal to 2, then control will get here square num a. Python will say that okay, square underscore num, it is not a default function, it means that user has created it. So the control will jump here and it will say okay, x is a, get inside, print a square, a is 2, so print 2 square and return the value to the function 4. Similarly, we can have more than one parameter here. Now I have a comma b. So do remember that number of parameters, if you have number of parameters 2, then you should have number of arguments also 2. Okay, so 5 15. But if you don't want 2 arguments here, then you can choose default parameter. So a comma b equal to 10. Now I have given b equal to 10 as default. So here I am not giving the value of b. I am only using 5. So by default it will take 10. It will not throw an error. If you write here some other value, say 15, that it will take 15. Okay. This is most important thing, anonymous function. So anonymous function is basically writing a function without def and without return. So normally what we write like this, and if I have been asked to write this using anonymous function, then that is called lambda. So what I am writing here, function name, so I am writing the function name here, then equal to lambda is the keyword, parameter, which parameter? X. What this x is doing, x squared 2, and then print function 2. So this is a function, but you are not writing def, you are not using return. Similarly, I am writing here a function to find the greater number. So I am writing mx, then lambda m comma n. So there are 2 numbers, m and m. Output is m if m is greater than n, else output will be n. And what is the value of m and n in this mx? Value is 5 and 6. So let's run this. So 6. Okay, so this much Python you must know before entering into machine learning. And I have just made a small project here to show you, and this is an AI calculator which can add and has the ability to learn from its mistake. Now I'll not go deep into this, but I'll just show you the part of Python here. Okay, see, so this is machine learning linear regression. Okay, leave it for the time. Now gather data. So this is the data set, and again you can see this is list. this is the output result, and again this is a list. Okay, so basically what it is doing, 1 2 output is 3, so I am just adding it here. I have made one AI calculator which adds. So 1 and 2 are input. 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 4 is 7, 5 plus 6 is 11, 9 plus 14 is 23. So this is just data, sample data. Okay, so machine will learn from this data. Then this is training part. I have used linear regression model.fit. Now I'm not going to teach machine learning here, just to show you how much Python is necessary. Now this is while loop. So while true. Now you learned how to give the input, so this is input function. Then you learned split, so whatever two numbers you are going to give here, like 2 3, it will be splitted. Now you will write 2 plus 3, so 2 will be at 0th position, plus will be at 1 position, 3 will be at 2 position. That is indexing, list indexing. So I am writing here parts expression dot split, so it will split 2 plus 3, it has splitted this. 2 will be at 0th position, so I am taking 0. 3 will be at 2nd position, so I am taking that 2nd. And I am using again machine learning to use these things. Now here the learning part of AI calculator. So again input part which you learn, if condition you learn, correct result, int input you have learned, again that is not machine learning, that is Python. Append function you have learned, append function, now this is machine learning part. And then again normal Python, again this is input, choice is lower than. Now let's just run this, see what's happening. So it is saying that enter an arithmetic expression, so like in this format, 2 space plus 3 space. So I am saying that 5 plus space 6, so it is saying 11.0, and it is asking was the result correct. I have written here, was the result correct. This part is to make your AI calculator learn from its mistake. So it is correct, yes it is correct. Do you want to continue? Yes. Another expression, let's try something else. 11 plus say 7, so now it is saying 17.999, so answer should be 18. So was the result correct? No. So enter the correct result, let's say 18, and yes. Let's try and see if it has learned or not. See, now it is 18. Yes. Do you want to continue? No. Okay, thanks for using the calculator. So this is how Python is used in machine learning. This is very simple AI calculator which is doing addition operation. And why it make the mistake? It make the mistake because it has very limited number of data set to train on. You can increase this list, you can increase this list, you can increase the functionality. Also you can change different machine learning models. So in the coming sessions you will be learning about more different machine learning algorithms, and at the end try with some other algorithm and make this more improved one. So that's it from my side. I tried to cover those part of Python which is actually necessary for machine learning. There are different things. List is very huge. You should learn enumerate function that I haven't taught. There are certain functions used with lambda, that is map, filter, reduce. So but those are generally not used with the machine learning part. So I have tried only to cover those parts which are used in machine learning, and that's it from my side.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your